ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ 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 ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀਓ। ਖੂਬ 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 ਤੇਰੋ ਨਾਮ, ਝੂਠ 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 ਦੁਨੀ ਗੁਮਾਨ। ਨਗਜ ਤੇਰੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਦੀਦਾਰ ਅਪਾਰ, ਨਾਮ ਬਿਨਾ ਸਭ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਛਾਰ। ਅਚਰਜ ਤੇਰੀ ਕੁਦਰਤ ਤੇਰੇ ਕਦਮ ਸਾਲਾਹਾ, ਗਨੀਵ ਤੇਰੀ ਸਿਫਤ ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ। ਨੀ ਤਰਿਆ ਤਰ ਪਨ ਹੈ ਖੁਦਾਏ, ਗਰੀਬ ਨਿਵਾਜ ਦਿਨ ਰੈਨ ਧਿਆਏ। ਨਾਨਕ ਕੋ ਖੁਦ ਖਸਮ ਮਹਿਰਵਾਨ, ਅੱਲ੍ਹੋ ਨ ਵਿਸਰੈ ਦਿਲ ਜੀ ਪਰਾਨ। ਕੋਟ ਬ੍ਰਹਮੰਡ ਕੋ ਠਾਕੁਰ ਸੁਆਮੀ, ਸਰਬ ਜੀਆ ਕਾ ਦਾਤਾਰੇ। ਪ੍ਰਤਪਾਲੇ ਰਿਤ ਸਾਰ ਸਮਾਲੇ, ਇਕ ਗੁਣ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੂਰਖ ਜਾਤਾਰੇ। ਹਰ ਅਰਾਧਨਾ ਜਾਨਾਰੇ, ਹਰ ਹਰ ਗੁਰ ਗੁਰ ਕਰਤਾਰੇ। ਹਰ ਜਿਉ ਨਾਮ ਪਰਿਓ ਰਾਮਦਾਸ, ਦੀਨ ਦਿਆਲ ਕਿਰਪਾਲ ਸੁਖ ਸਾਗਰ। ਸਰਬ ਘਟਾ ਭਰਪੂਰੀ ਰੇ, ਪੇਖਤ ਸੁਨਤ ਸਦਾ ਹੈ ਸੰਗੇ। ਮੈਂ ਮੂਰਖ ਜਾਣਿਆ ਦੂਰੀ ਰੇ, ਹਰ ਬੇਅੰਤ ਹਉਮਿਤ ਕਰ ਵਰਨੋ। ਕਿਆ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੋਏ ਕੈਸੋ ਰੇ, ਕਰੋ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਆਪਣੇ। ਮੈਂ ਮੂਰਖ ਦੇਹੋ ਉਪਦੇਸੋ ਰੇ, ਮੈਂ ਮੂਰਖ ਕੀ ਕੇਤਕ ਬਾਤ ਹੈ। ਕੋਟ ਪਰਾਧੀ ਤਰਿਆਰੇ, ਗੁਰ ਨਾਨਕ ਜਿਨ ਸੁਨਿਆ ਪੇਖਿਆ। ਸੇ ਫਿਰ ਗਰਭਾਸ ਨਾ ਪਰਿਆਰੇ, ਗੁਰ ਨਾਨਕ ਜਿਨ ਸੁਨਿਆ ਪੇਖਿਆ। ਸੇ ਫਿਰ ਗਰਭਾਸ ਨਾ ਪਰਿਆਰੇ। ਧੰਨ ਧੰਨ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕੀ ਹਾਜ਼ਰੀ ਪੱਟੀ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ। ਆਓ ਫਤਿਹ ਸਥਾਨ ਪਾਓ ਜੀ। ਗਜ ਗਜ ਕੀ ਆਖੋ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਸੋ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, ਪਿਛਲੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਗਏ ਸੀਗੇ ਰਹਿਰਾਸ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਨੰਦ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਤੱਕ। ਉੱਥੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਚੌਥੀ ਪੌੜੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਚਾ ਨਾਮ ਮੇਰਾ ਆਧਾਰੋ। We got to the fourth body of the Chota Anand Sahib in the Rehraas Sahib part. Maharaj says that in life I take the support of Vaheguru, Sacha Naam, the name of that true Vaheguru who is our Sacha Sahib, Sach Nai, Pakhya Pao Apar. Why is it important to say that word Sacha Sahib and Sach Nai? Because somebody has to be true for their name to be true. And Maharaj is saying that Asi, we are jhute. We come and then we go. Asi rehde nahi the. The Sacha Paatshah ne tariya tar panhe khudaye, gareeb niwaj din rehte aaye. Maharaj, that Vaheguru, our Guru, he comes and he stays. Even now, Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, our Sacha Paatshah, aaye te rahe. They didn't go anywhere. They're still here. So in that sense, they're the true Guru. In the same way, our Vaheguru is a true master, so his name is also true. So Maharaj says ki Sacha Naam Mera adhaaro. I take the support of that true Vaheguru, not Ram, Rahim or Quran, all these things that come and go, only of that one Vaheguru. Maharaj says this is my support in life. What will happen to those people that take on the support of Vaheguru's name? ਜੇਕਰ ਇਸ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਆਪਣਾ ਆਧਾਰ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਲ ਨਾ ਬਣਾ ਲਵੇ, if somebody in this world takes on that Naam as a support, what will happen to them? Mera says, Sacha Naam adhaaro meraa jin pukha sab gawaiyan. If somebody took on the name as a support, Mera says, what will happen? Jin pukha sab gawaiyan. Then all the pukh inside them would be gone. We are always troubled by things. We are hungry physically, we're hungry for spiritual things, we're hungry for emotional love, we're hungry for happiness, we've got dukh in our life. Mera says, Jin pukha sab gawaiyan. All inside and outside hunger will be taken away. Spending a lot of time Baljeet Singh on the tour recently, because we're travelling up and down. And he talks about this one time that Bhai Mardana ji ak gaye te thak gaye. He did the arth of Nanak. He Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj na ak de na thak de. They don't get upset, they don't say, oh that's enough. They have no limit to their tolerance. At the same time they never ever get tired. But Mardana, Bhai Mardana ji, oh thak gaye te ak gaye. They sat down one day and they go, bas, I don't want to carry on. Mera says, what happened, Mardana? We with me for all these years, we went to Mecca together, we went to Sri Lanka together, went all these places, get to thak gaya? He says, no. He goes, bahut ho gaya. Because you kept me hungry for days. Even then I kept with you. You didn't let me sleep. Went to Sachin's house, you made me stay up all night. I've been tired, I've been hungry, I miss my family. And he goes, now just let me go home. I want to go back home to my family. Tusi aap pay taro. Mera says, Mardana, you've been with me. If you don't pay the reward, then what will I say? Think again. He says, nahin. He bows down, he asks for chutti. As he's bowing down to ask for chutti na, Bhai Mardana ji, pyar vich, ek tana maar dene. You know what tana is? Tana is like a little complaint, loveful complaint. They complain to Maharaj, say, Maharaj, mainu ja chutti de do, ja fir na, choti ji awaaz se unhone kehta, mainu apne varga bana do. They go, let me go home, I don't want to live in this life, I can't stay with you anymore. Or I say, or else, make me like you. Because Maharaj, na akde na thakde. They don't get tired and they do not give up, but we do. We have this problem. So Mera says that if we start to make the Naam our support now, just like by Mardana ji that day, his book was taken away. Mera says, "Han Mardana, theek ya." They said, "Aaj to na, before today you were Mardana. From now on, you will be called Bhai Mardana." And they blessed him. As they put their hand on his head, they took away all of his book. And from that day on, Mardana was Bhai Mardana ji. Because Bhai loves bahut uchi darji hegi hai. In Sikhi is a very high darja to give someone the name Bhai. Ajkal they put it in front of anybody, even Murkhs like me, they say, oh Bhai Jagraj Singh. Bhai is Bhai Gurbani Singh, Bhai Mardana ji. Yeah? We don't even get that, we shouldn't even have that thing in front of our name. It's such a high level of status. If you look at the Baba, the only Baba that in the Bhai Mardana ji, Bhai Gurdas talks about is Baba Nanak and Baba Buddha ji. The two people now who were given the word Baba in our itihas. And Baba Buddha ji did seva of Guru Nanak Dev ji, Guru Angad Dev ji, Guru Amar Das ji, Guru Ram Das ji, Guru Ajay Dev ji, Guru Har Gobind Sahib ji, and they were around for the birth of Guru Tegh Bahadur ji. 7 of the Gurus they knew themselves. So eh honda Baba. Maharaj says in Sukhmani Sahib, they say, Par Brahm ki jisman pukh, Nanak tise na lage dukh. Yes, if we take on the Naam, all of our book will go. But the thing about the book for Naam is that it grows. We have to have one book, we have to have one hunger, the hunger for saying God's name, and say, Ki Maharaj, ek kripa kar do, do one thing for me, let me not forget you. Only thing I want is that while I keep this hunger, then Puran hoye hamari asa, tor pe then ki rahe pyasa. Let me stay thirsty and hungry for this Naam. Let me not lose interest in this life that you've put in front of me. So Mara says, if you have the book for Naam, for Vaheguru Par Brahm Ki Jisman Bhuk, they say then you will not get any dukh in this life. Nanak tise na lage dukh. So there is one way we can get rid of unhappiness. The great Buddha, he said life is unhappiness. But Buddha didn't talk about Naam. He kept quiet on Rab. But Mara says no. If you take on the Naam of Vaheguru, फिर तुसी एक उच्ची अवस्था तक पहुंच जाओगे जिथे ना भुख ते ना दुख. Mara says कि those people that जो नर दुख में दुख नहीं माने, सुख स्नेह और पह नहीं जाके कंचन माटी माने. That person who has become one with Vaheguru, this can only happen not by controlling the mind, not by calming down the mind. That's one point. The other point is saying Vaheguru's name and connecting and worshipping Vaheguru, which they don't have in Buddhism. They don't have someone to worship. So a bahut vada fark hai sade vich. We have the idea of connecting to Vaheguru by calling Vaheguru's name. Mara says ki kar sant sukh man aaye vasya jin ichha sab pujaiyan. As they took on the name and they lost all their book, Mara says, then what happened? Kar sant sukh man aaye vasya. Then what happened to them is shanti, peace, sukh, again tranquility, man aaye vasya. And then jit ichha sab pujaiyan. There are two ways of looking at desires. Either you fulfill the desire or you get rid of the desire. Both ways lead to contentment. There's a famous book by a philosopher from Cambridge, and he said how to get what you want and want what you have. कि दोनों पासे तोरे को संतुष्टि आ जाती है. You get calm and संतोष ना आ जाता है if you get what you want and you lose the desires to want anymore. Mara says इच्छा सब पुजाइयां. पुजाइयां means पूरा कर देतियां. They made fulfilled all my desires. So साडे मन विच इच्छा होंदियां हैगियां, but sometimes we don't even ask, and Mara just kirpa and fulfills that desire. जिਵੇਂ बानी से Mara ने कहता कि इच्छा पूरक सर्व सुख दाता हर जाके वश है काम तेना. They say, you know, he can fulfill all your desires. The thing though is that do we turn to him and ask? On कई लोग की मेरे सामने आंदे ने कहते हैं I want to do this, I want to do that. They're looking for strength to do something, but very rarely they turn to their guru and do ardas, say Maharaj, help me do this, help me do that. Pushte nahi. The one who's going to give you, ask from him. If you have an itcha, the best itcha obviously is for now, is to follow Sikhi. But if you've got that itcha, then ask it from Guru Sahib. Don't ask from somebody else. Siddha Guru Sahib pucho. But on the other side, if there are desires that trouble you, if you're full of these desires, then Maharaj samne ardas karo, Maharaj, take away the desire. If you're going to spend the rest of your life unhappy because you can't get what you want, maybe a person, maybe a kind of job, maybe a kind of something else. If you can't have it, then you're going to give yourself a lifetime worth of dukh and ask Maharaj, take away this desire. Hata do mitra. I don't want this desire. Jin ichha sab pujaiyan. He can sort that out for us. Maharaj says, Sada Qurban Kita Guru Vitto Jis Diya Ehe Vadiyaiyan. They say, you know, I'm a sacrifice to my Guru Qurban Kita. Guru Vitto, to my Guru I'm a sacrifice always. Kyun? Because he is this great. That people take on the wrong person as the Guru. Honda kiya dunya vich, we grab the wrong person and think this person is going to solve all our problems. And kai bari ki honda hai, is sade parivaran vich bahut honda hai, because divorce is rising up in the Sikh community quite a lot. Honda ki hai, a person comes with problems. One person here's got problems, one person here's got problems. Because life is tough, innit? When they get together, because of Bollywood and all this bakwas out there that tells you, you think this person is going to solve all my problems. This person thinks the solution to my problem is this person. This person thinks the solution to my problems is this person. Asal which, no one can solve anybody else's problems. Only our Guru is so great. Jistiyan ehe vadiyaiyan. Diri vadiyai, the greatness is in the Guru. But we're looking at the wrong place. We're looking within each other. And we know, we think this person will solve our problems. What happens is, that person will not be able to solve these problems. We're trying to put a square peg in a round hole. It won't work. and then we get upset with this person. You did not give me what I expected you to give me. But asal vich, jad sada vyah honda ya, we don't get married around the fire, we get married around Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. Both people are around Guru Granth Sahib Ji because they say, Maharaj, you are the person that my life revolves around. You are going to solve my problems. Jis diya ehe vadiyaiyan. He is that great, he has that greatness, he can solve our problems, but we have to turn towards the Guru and not just towards each other. If you've got a son and you've got two lotus flowers living in the mud, well, if you look at that, that's a triangle, isn't it? But if you look at this lotus flower and this lotus flower, if they face inwards, they'll drown. But they're like this, they're floating. Now if they start to go towards the sun together, what will happen is they'll come closer together. It's a triangle. The way to go towards each other is to go towards Waheguru together. Not the other way around. Go towards other and then you both drown. So Sikhi is that we both turn towards our Guru. We take the support of the Naam of Waheguru, and we understand that each of us are both broken people. We can't solve our problems for each other. What we can do is help each other go towards the Guru who can solve these problems. Jis diya ehe vadiyaiyan keh nanak suno santo shabad taro pyaro. Maharaj says, listen O saints, on sant ithe kaun hai? Sant ithe har Sikh vaste varta gaya. Har ek Sikh vaste varta gaya sant sangat. This is the sangat of the people that are trying to walk upon this path. Maharaj says, you sare mere vaste sant hai gaya. Keh nanak suno santo. What do they say? Shabad taro pyaro. They say, do arth hai. One is, in your heart, build love for the Shabad. Shabad de vaste apne dil vich na pyar taro. Shabad taro pyaro. But the other meaning of this is that, oh my beloved santo, oh mere pyareo, oh mere santo, ek kaam karo, Shabad tar lo. Take the support of Shabad. Because you and I know in our lives, when things go wrong, sometimes we don't turn to the Shabad. Something goes wrong, people turn to alcohol, they turn to drugs, they turn to the wrong thing, they turn to each other, they forget to turn to the Shabad. So jera bhi Sikh inu ganda hai na, let's try today, in our heart, for 1 second, let's try to say to our Guru Maharaj, next time I'm down, next time I'm upset, next time I don't know where to go, I'm going to turn to you. Maharaj is saying, you know what, take the support of Shabad. Sade Panthij Honda ki the people that are addicts for drugs or alcohol, their support is drugs. When they start taking drugs, it's because they say, you know what, life is so dukhi, I'm going to do these alcohol or drugs, this will be my support. Then that becomes what they can't let go of. Now the claws of that thing get into you and you can't get rid of it. But the problem with that thing is actually poison. Hum andale bikhe bikarate, kyo chale guru chali. We're stuck in this poison and it takes us towards Narak, hell. Maharaj says, no. Oh mere pyareo, take the support of the Shabad. If you take the support of the Shabad, then not only this life will be good, I will take away your dukh, give you shant and sukh, but also in the next world, you will get pehnaiya, you will get Baba, Jai Jaikar. Har mantan vasya soi, Jai Jaikar kare sab koi. Gurpure ki vadiyai. It's the greatness of our Guru, taki कीमत कहीं ना जाए. Ho kurban jaye, tere naam hai. The naam is what we look for. We are sacrificed towards our Guru. Ho kurban jaye tere naam hai, jisno baksh le mere pyare, so jas tera gaave. Aao, apa Gurmantra na judiye. Let's join with the Gurmantra. Let's say to our Guru Maharaj, Kirpa karo, in my life when times get tough, let me not turn to drugs, alcohol, whatever it is that we turn to, let me turn to the Shabad, to your naam. Bolo Waheguru, 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 sorry bolo, Waheguru, 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 Vaheguru, 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 So Mera says, "Oh my beloved, take the support of the Shabad." Mere pyareo, because you know, when kai wari Guruji loves us so much like a child, वो बड़े प्यार से नगर करते हैं, like a father would talk to their child. जैसे मेरे प्यारे, because Guru Sahib knows कि बड़े बड़े सिखों को सिर्फ शब्द ही रहना है. Many Sikhs even now, they don't have no Guru Granth Sahib near them. They live far away. In America, which people drive 2-3 hours to get to Gurdwara sometimes. उत्थे रहना की है? सिर्फ शब्द. In those days there was only one Guru. So then there was only the Shabad that they had. Mara says, तुसी जे मेरे नाल प्यार करना है ना, then have love for the Shabad. Ayo sunan padan ko bani. You've come to listen and read Bani. And Mara said, if you forget the Bani, it's like you forget me. Same thing. So Gursikha da kam ki hai svere uth ke Bani padhni. That's very important for a Gursikh. Shabad vaase pyar karo. The only way you will want to get up and read Bani is when you have more love for Bani than you going to school, work or school. Then you want to have your breakfast. If you got more love for those cornflakes downstairs than for your Jagraj Singh upstairs, then pangaya. You gotta want to say, forget the food, I want to read my part. So Maharaj carries on the Shabad. They say, Sacha, Naam, Mera, Adharo. They say, I've made this Naam my support. Then they say, Vajje Panch Shabad Tit Kar Sabhagya. And Kar Sabhagya means that lucky house. Kar means your house. Ehita Rupi Kar. Our house is this home. Now, many times in your life you move house, innit? Even as a human being, we move house so many times. Average must be about 4 or 5, innit? And when you go to university, new house, all these things. So, Maharaj is saying, this is just one more house. Aaj main looking sawal puchya, what about organ donation? Main kya tusi karna ki ode naal organ donation jab chale gaye, charai kar ke, what are you going to do with your organs? When you are dead, this body leaves this house, the soul leaves this house, so what are you going to do with the rest of the house left behind? Somebody else can come and take over the house, innit? Nothing wrong with it. You can get rid of the organs after you go, because Lord needs on you're gone now. So organ donation is perfectly in line with Sikhi. So Maharaj says, Vajje Panch Shabad Tit Kar Sabhagya. Sabhagya means lucky. In that lucky house, i.e. the body, where the person who has taken the support of Naam, जिन्होंने ये काम किया है ना, साचा नाम मेरा आधारो, वाजे पंच शब्द तित कार सभागे, जिन्होंने ये सपोर्ट लेता है, आधार नाता नाम आधार बनाया है, होंदा की हमारे से वाजे पंच शब्द. Now this vaje means that it keeps on resounding, vajde रहते ने, and the panch shabad is what we're going to talk about now. What is this panch shabad? Now, panch has many meanings. First one, panch shabad, can talk about the anhad shabad, the anhad tuni. Now music that is being played, because the word panch can mean supreme. जिमें पंच परवान, पंच प्रधान, पंचे पावे दरगे मान, पंचे सोह है दर राजन, पंचा का गुर एक ध्यान. उत्थे पंच का अर्थ ये नहीं कि पंच लोग, इत्थे पंच का अर्थ है जिधे सरपंच, the seniors, the heads. So the supreme people, the supreme shabad, panch shabad. The supreme shabad is that shabad which is not even done on the stage. कोई बजा नहीं रहा. Anhad. Had means कोई बजा रहा है. Somebody's made that music. Anhad means no one's making that music. That music, that shabad is being sung, but it's not being sung by anybody who's sitting in front of you. It's anhad shabad, the music that comes from Vaheguru direct. So Inu kendene anhad shabad, anhad tuni, and it's basically unstruck melody in the English translation. Unstruck melody, no one's playing it. It's divine music that is playing everywhere. And the people that get to a certain avastha of beyond Gyan Khand, and they get to Gyan Khand, they get to hear this shabad. And I've met people that have told me, they can hear the anhad tuni, they can hear the sounds. Now what are these sounds? They say that there's 5 types of musical instruments that make up this sound, the panch shabad, anhad shabad. One is tar. Tar means string, so stringed instruments. For example, sarangi, taos and above. Now what's interesting is all these things, they're inside the Guru Darbar as well. Jire panch shabad utthe baj rahe ne, Guru Sahib is actually making music from them here as well. So if you imagine what Guru Sahib is doing, in Sachkhand, everybody can hear this music. In here, we can't hear this music. Most of us can't, but some people can. But in Sachkhand, everybody can hear this music. Now what Maharaj is saying is that I'm bringing Sachkhand here. What Sachkhand will be like is what a Guru's Darbar is supposed to be like. When you walk in, it's supposed to be like heaven. The saints are sitting there, singing, and the vajan wale bhi baithe ne. Vajan wale te gavan wale, Sodar tera kiha, remember that party? So kirma Sachkhand. Utthe vajan wale te sun gaan wale. They're all sitting there. That is exactly what Sachkhand is like. Maharaj says, utthe tar ne, as in sarangi, taos, rabab, tat, which means metal instruments. I, chimte, bells, those things. And then kara, which means earthen pots, like you see pots, they can play them. And there's cham, leather instruments, i.e. the tabla. Okay. And then finally fook. Fook are the instruments that are made with voice, with wind. Fook marke. So those are like flute, narsinga, sank, ture. Ture is a trumpet which comes up in here. So vaje anhad ture. That trumpet which is playing, which is anhad, no one is playing it, but they can hear it. So what is one of the Guru Sikhs described this? They said, "Ena jive tusi kisi nu milna ja rahe hai, koi vadda purkh aa raha hai na, koi some big Raja is coming to meet you. Before you even get to see that Raja, duroi, before you get to see him, do darshan of them, you get to hear they're coming. There's music, bajan wale, like for example, hone simple ji gal hegi hai, when they get married in India, before the Bharat has got to the girl's house, they can hear it coming. Why? There's trumpets, there's drums, everything is playing loud. You can hear them coming. In the same way, Hirda Rupi Atma jiri hegi, the bride inside, that the soul bride, unhe vyah karna Akal Purukh de naam. And the coming of Akal Purukh is announced by the Anhad Turi, the Anhad Shabad. It's coming now, he is coming to marry you, Bharat aa rahi hai. He is coming to marry you, and you can hear him coming. And holi, as he comes closer and closer, then you get to see him, and finally you get married, and that soul merges. So it's like one of the miracles of Sikhi, spiritual enlightenment. Mera says that you will hear the Anhad Shabad. So, now the supreme Shabad, some people say, well, actually, there is Anhad Shabad, there is also one more thing, which is Vaheguru's name. Because Bani also Bhai Gurdasi says, ki Vaheguru Gur Shabad hai. So that God's name is also a Shabad. And what happens with the people that get to a level, they get to hear Vaheguru Simran all the time. The whole world says Vaheguru to them. But imagine when the world is saying Vaheguru to you, and you can't forget. Visir nahi datar. Apna naam deho, the whole world is saying Vaheguru to you. So this way, obviously, can be Vaheguru, or it could be Satanam, the Guru Mantra, whatever that gets you to connect to Vaheguru, the world starts singing that to you, and in harmony with you. Vajje means vajde rendene. All the time, rukdeni. Maharaj says of this level, they say ki Nanak Bhagta Pukh Salahan Sach Naam Adhar. Sada Anand Rahe Din Rati Gunvantiya Pasha. The people at this level, they are in spiritual bliss day and night. Oh Vajde Rendene, day and night they hear the Shabad. So, Vajje Panch Shabad Tit Kar Savage. The blessed house that gets to this level of spirituality through Naam, then that Anhad Shabad is always playing inside them. Kamara's carries on, they go, Ki Kar Sabage Sabadavaje Kala Jit Kar Tarya. This Kar, Jit Kar means in that house, in that blessed lucky house where this Shabad is playing, the Anhad Shabad, Maharaj says, Kala te jit kar tarya. Tarya means to put in. Kala means the power. The person who reaches this level, all of Vaheguru's power now comes inside that person. I.e. Karam Khand ki Bani Jor. The person who starts to get to this level, when they say something, it will happen because Akal Purkh's Kala, their power is inside this person. So ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਬਚਨ ਪੂਰੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ. ਨਾਨਕ ਦਾਸ ਮੁਖ ਤੇ ਜੋ ਬੋਲੇ ਇਹਾਂ ਉਹਾਂ ਸੱਚ ਹੋਵੇ. The servant of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, when they say these words, then it will come true in this world and the next world. Because Guru Sahib aappe hi aande ne. Guru Sahib come themselves to keep this person's bachan puri. So Maharaj says, if you have this, you will get that power of Vaheguru inside you. Maharaj says, Panch Doot Tudavas Kite Kal Kantak Marya. Panch Doot, our 5 demons, our 5 enemies. Maharaj says, Tudavas Kite. Vas means to control. Kisnu vas karta, you've got them in your control. Maharaj says, the person who gets to this level, then they calm, they grow the lobh, moh, ahankar, lust, anger, pride, greed, attachment. These 5 demons, vas vich aa jande hain. Now Sacha sanu pata hai, most of us are trapped by the 5. So it's like like when you're playing a game, they've got you under their control. Maharaj says, one day if you follow this path, you will have them under your control. This is the way to beat the Kaam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ahankar, to go through Naam. Now some people are trying to beat Kaam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ahankar through their own mind. They're trying with their own ego to beat these things. Maharaj says, Tusi onu chhaddo, take hold of the Naam. As you do Naam, Simran and Bani, you connect to Vaheguru, automatically these 5 will come under your control. Because you're using a bigger weapon. You know, Sadhya Spashaga, we only got as much jor as in these arms. But Vaheguru has got much more. So we we depend upon them, and then we allow these Panch to come under our control. Maharaj says, Ki Panch Doot Tudvasa Kite, you done this for us? Kal Kantaka Marya. Now what is Kantak? Kantak is like a kanta, like a needle. Now what it means is that there's a Kantak of death, a needle of death. Now Mara says, imagine you're sitting down somewhere and there's a needle there. Just socho, there's a needle on the seat. You're going to be careful not to sit there, isn't it? Dar haiga. If I sit there, I'll get hurt. In the same way, we're scared of death as well. Apa darde hain, kisi nu chubi na. Let not death poke me and get me done. If I go, then it's the end of my life. We're all scared of death. So what Kal Kantak Marya means is the fear of death. That's what it's talking about. The fear of death actually poking us in the end. Huh? And when we finally get that poke from death, it's not like Facebook, you can't poke back. That's it. You're going to go. Fir gaye. Yeah? That's it. Let's go. When it goes through, you're gone. Maharaj says, Kal Kantak Marya. It doesn't, Maharaj says not that you're not going to die, but that fear of death will go. You will not be scared of that Kantak. The death needle will not scare you anymore. Kal Kantak Marya. There's no more fear of death. And dekho Sangat ji, many people, I want to give one example, because we're remembering November 1984 as well, and Shahidi month is coming up with all the Shahidiyan. Ek cheez yaad rakho, in the history of India, recently there was an interview with a hangman. The hangman is the one that kill people in India, the executioner. They interviewed one, and they asked him, how many people have you killed in the last, 20-30 years for the government? He said, well, I've killed about 12 or 13 people in Neki. And they go, what were their faces like? What were they like? They go, they were all scared apart from 2. So there was 2 people in the last 20 years of me in the execution that didn't go to their death scared. Because they went smiling, they gave out laddus, they kissed the noose that went around their neck, and they did jakari. Who are these people? Sukha and Jinda. Yeah? That killed Vaidya. They took badla for what happened in 1984. They went smiling. On Ekal Kantaka Marya. Those that take the support of Satguru, they don't turn away from their duty towards the path. They're not scared about death. Maharaj Kirpa Kardane, they're not scared of death until the very last moment. Same as when we talked about Bhai Mati Das ji, when the executioner had the thing, the aura on his head, he goes, let me taste this aura. They said, it's death, it's the aura, or you become a Muslim. He goes, I haven't tasted this aura. Let me taste the aura. Chikage dikhao. And when they cut his head at the beginning and the blood came pouring out and covered his whole face, he goes, Ara hi pyara. He goes, I love the Ara. I don't want to become a Muslim. I'd rather have the Ara, please. And they chopped him in half. So eh hunda kal kantak Maria, because they lose the fear of death, because they understand that this sareer is only a house. And the Atma, it's going to go on to a new house, we're going to go and live it in real house, in a Akal Purkh's own bhavan. But it nahi assi rehna. So Maharaj says ki if we do this, aap haath de mujhe ubariye, maran kal ka tras nivariye. Tras means fear as well. Then Maharaj carries on to say, Tur karma paya tud jinko se naam har ke lage. Now, this level of spirituality, to lose the fear of death, to have Vaheguru's power inside you, to hear the Anhad Shabad, Maharaj says, Tur karam paya. Those people that get this level is because Maharaj, you have blessed them from so long ago, from Turon. Now, Turon doesn't just mean from the beginning of time, it means from Vaheguru. Because the only person who is Tur is Vaheguru. No one else was there before. Tur karam paya. So you yourself have blessed them, Tur karam paya, to the jinko se naam har ke lage. To get to this level of Naam, Maharaj says, is only by your preordained destiny. Keh nanak teh sukh hoa tit kar anhad vaje. Then Maharaj says, this is the real sukh. There is no one else who could be in so much sukh as a person who's got the sukh of Naam. They say, ki keh nanak teh sukh hoa. This is real sukh, tit kar anhad vaje. So Satsang ji, ida matlab ei hai na, that most of the world is not in sukh. Nanak dukhiya sab sansar. The whole world is dukhi. Why? Because they haven't got to that level of spirituality. They haven't connected to Vaheguru in that same way. They live their life much like, you might say, they're physical beings and they're trying to have a physical experience. Maharaj says, but you see, you're really not that. Man tu jyot sarup hai. Apna mool pachan. Recognize your root, recognize who you really are. Maharaj says, what you really are is Jyot Sarup. You're the light of Vaheguru. So those people that go through this, they experience that Naam, the Shabad, Anha Shabad everywhere. Then Maharaj finishes off. Now we're going to go from the 5th body, jump forward to the 40th body. So Satsang ji is yaad rakhna, there are actually more than 5 bodies, or 6 bodies to Anand Sahib. What we do is from the 5th body, we jump forward to the 40th body. ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਾਲੇ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਵੇਰੇ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੇ ਹਾਂ. We should read for Anand Sahib in the morning, and then in the evening we're going to do 6 ਪੌੜੀਆਂ. Now why is that? Because Rehraas Sahib is like a small version of your morning nitne. You start off with Sodar, that's Japji Sahib. Look at Sopur, and that's a bit like Jap Sahib. Then you get through your the other Baniya, what is the point of life? Then you get to Chope Sahib, and then Anand Sahib, small. So it's a small version of the morning. That's why we jump to the end. From the 5th they jump to the end to summarize. And the summary of Anand Sahib is written there. Maharaj starts off that and they say, Anand sano vad pagi ho sagal manorat pure. Now it says Anand, but it's actually meant not to be said, but meant to be, means Anand. And here Anand means the part Anand Sahib. It's not saying listen to the bliss. It's saying listen to Anand Sahib da part, because Ramkali Mehla Tija Anand. They say Anand Sunovada Pagiyo, Anand Sunovada Pagiyo, Sagal Manorat Pure. They say, oh lucky people, listen to Anand Sahib and all of your Manorat. Manorat means your desires. In your heart, the desires, Maharaj kehte pure ho janenge. Sagal Manorat Pure. Sagal means all. Par Brahma Prabha Paya Utre Sagal Visure. If you achieve that supreme Brahm, Par Brahm Prabha Paya, if you achieve that, Maharaj said, Utre Sagal Visure. Visure means your dukh, all your sadness will go. Visre. Utre means to remove, Uttar jange. And then they say, Dukh rog santap utre suni sachi bani. Dukh rog. Dukh means dukh, rog means disease, santap means again more suffering. Dukh rog santap utre. They will remove from you. What was on top of you and suffocating you will get off you. And you'll be free to breathe. Why? Maharaj says, Suni sachi bani. You know, this whole part, whole of Bani is actually praising Bani. If you look at Bani, it's full of praise of Gurbani. We're going to get to that in a minute, Mundavni Mahla Panjwa. But all of Bani is actually telling you how important Bani is. Maharaj is telling you, listen, this is the Dawai, enu khao, have this Dawai. Suni Sachi Bani, just by listening to this true Bani. Now, Satsang di fark eh paida na ki koi sune te na samjhe, to koi sune te na samjhe bhi. That's the difference if you understand what you're listening to. So the reason that Katha is so important is that when we listen to that Bani, we understand what he's trying to say to us as well. Maharaj says, your disease will go if you listen and really listen and understand the Sachi Bani. Bani actually doesn't just mean what's written down in Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Bani means the words. Bani actually means words. And words of whom? Sachi Bani, the words of the Sachi, Sacha Parpar Brahm Parmesar. Listening to his words, what he wants, his saneha, his message. Sometimes we don't know that God is speaking to us. We think God never speaks to us. But this is God speaking to us. Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, this Sachi Bani, this is God's words to all of us. If we want to find out what God wants us to do, ask Gurbani. That is God's words. So Maharaj says, Suni Sachi Bani, all your dukh will go, because Vaheguru is that dukh haran. He's the destroyer of dukh. And Maharaj says, now some people say that can't happen, you can't get rid of disease. There's actually an organization called Sarab Roka Aukhad Naam. It's a Sikh organization. They say all diseases can be cured with Naam. And they go around the country and they hold camps. And they're camps where they read Bani and they do Ardas, they do Simran, and they say, Maharaj, cure me. Dukh rog, santab utre, suni sachi Bani. Hon eh hunda Vishwas da gal. Vishwas di gal hundi hai. Recently, 2 of my friends went to that camp in Newcastle. Utte hoya siga. They said there was a guy there who walked in, didn't walk in, he was wheeled in on a wheelchair. Couldn't walk. He had a carer with him. People that were helping him as he went around to help him matha take, put him back on the chair, took him around. He could not walk. He sat there for the whole day listening. Next day, he started to sing along, and then at lunchtime, from Langar Hall, he went back upstairs, he wheeled in, and he got off his chair, and he was going to get put up. And what he did is, he just basically left the chair behind and started walking. Just in one day. And when he was sitting down afterwards, he said, you know what? Nothing changed until I turned to my Guru and did Ardas. He said, I was just listening the first time, I didn't do anything. Because then I got up and I actually did Ardas, and I said, Maharaj, you do it now. Tusi aap karo. And he was cured there. And everybody's like, huh? Ek de turnan pya. But Satsang ji, maaf karna, we don't really have that much trust in Bani. Now, eh to hega ya, that some things won't be cured because that's your hukum. But there are 3 things in our karam. There's 3 types of karam. Ek hunda sanchit karam. All the karam we've accumulated over all the previous lives. Then there's also what we've come in for this life. You can't work out all your karam in one life. So it's like a big ocean, and you take a glass out of it, and you say, in this life I'm going to go through this much karam. Or like a balti, and you take 1 glass. That's your parlabad karam, what you're going to go through in this life. And then there's also the karam that we're earning, which is called kireman karam, as in we're earning that right now, and we're adding to that balti, and we've also got to go through what's in this mug. Whether it's good or bad, we have to go through it. Now what the Guru can do with Ardas and Naam Simran, they can actually reduce the effect of that parlabad karam. Like in Guru Nanak Ji's time, a Sikh came to Guru Maharaj, 2 of them, and they said, I want to ask you a question. They said, I've been coming to your Sangat for a long time. I grabbed this guy and brought him with me. And he's a thief, or chorya, mara kaam karta hai. Now on the way here today, brought him yesterday, today we came again, on the way here, I end up hurting my foot, and I limped all the way here. But this guy, he found a gold coin. They go, how does this work? How come he got a gold, I didn't get the gold coin and he pricked his foot? Mara says, okay, you've asked and I explained to you. They said, you've got this parlabad karam, you have to go through your destiny. But the destiny can be reduced. They said, your destiny today, the good Sikh, they said, you are going to die today. But hoya ki, with your simran, you reduced that just to a bit of pain on your foot. And even that, Dr. Saha Niga. You started crying about that one as well. Because this guy, he had parlabad karam, that he was going to get so much gold today. he was going to discover in that pot of gold that he found one coin, he was going to find so much gold. And they said to that Sikh, that was the new one, they said, what did you find inside that pot? He said, I found a whole bunch of ash and one gold coin. Mara said, you know all that ash, that was things that you burned. Tera jira mare karam kitne is dharam vich, wo sara jira sona seva tu saarda. You burn all the good stuff, you only got left with one gold coin. So what we get in this life, we sometimes get unhappy or happy about, but in reality, what we've done in our karam has also affected this. Because the biggest karam is in satsangat to jap naam. Mara says, Saad sangat har kirtan hai, sir karma kya karma. The highest karam of all the karam is in Saad sangat to do kirat, to do praise of Waheguru. So in reality, we might think we're going through a lot of stuff. We don't know what we've been saved from. At the same time, we start thinking, I done so much, I got this thing. We don't know what we also ruined for ourselves with our Mari karam. That's why Mara said you can't understand this until you get to a certain level. So in this way, it is true कि दुख रोग संताप उतरे सुनी सच्ची बाणी. हाँ जिहड़े इत्थे बैठे ने इस वेले बाणी सुन रहे ने विचार कर रहे ने. What do we know what we've been saved from? We won't know innit. When we die, we realize ਅਸੀਂ बचे कि नहीं. We won't realize now because the level is too low. But when we get to that level, we will say, Waheguru, thank you so much. And then we remember Vani. When Guru Arjan Ji Pasha says in Rag Sur, Dekho tum karo pala, hum palo na jaan hai, tum sada sada de Allah. They go, you do good actually, but I don't see it as good. And you're always compassionate. So, for us, the solution is, do the highest thing in Kaljug, which is Naam Simran and Kirtan, and praise Waheguru, and then do good actions, and depend upon the Guru, and all these things will be sorted out. Because dukh rog santaap utre suni sachi bani. Now it's not important for us if Guru Sahib takes away the pain, because the point is that the pain might already be only 1% of what we were meant to go through. So we can't start saying demanding more from our Guru. We have to trust him that what he's giving us is actually right. And this is not proof of God's existence for us. This is the effect of God's existence. Proof comes from Anand, from Simran. We don't try to prove God using miracles. I'll give you a story about this, a bit short in time, but I'll quickly just go through. When I was in Canada, this this Sikh had become a Christian. So the family called me to come and talk to him. Then when I was talking to him, he called his mate who had converted him to Christianity because he couldn't answer my questions. So there's me and this Christian guy and the other guy who had converted to Christianity sitting in this room. And he kept saying to me, look, let me take you for one day around and I'll show you all the miracles that Christ has done, healing and stuff. He goes, I'll prove to you that Christ is powerful. I already accept that Christ was a son and he could do miracles in his name. What are you going to prove to me? He goes, but you don't understand, I'm going to show you miracles when I get your faith in God. I said, can you do the miracle of making me experience God right now? And he's like, well, we can't, that's not a miracle that I can do. We're looking for now. Maharaj is going to give us the miracle of experiencing God right here upon earth. And these things, the rog, all these diseases being sorted out, they're simple. They're small things for Waheguru. We don't put so much importance upon miracles because miracles are in every Sikh's life every day. You won't believe how many miracles happen every day in Gursikhi. The Sikhi ch aoge na, taa pata lagda hai ki kinne miracle ho rahe ne roz. So Maharaj says, dukh rog santaap utre, suni sachi bani, sant sajan pare, sarase, pure gurte jani. Sant and sajan, the saints and their friends. Now on one way, the friends of the saints are also our friends. But also, some people are Mahapurukhs and they've got people that are around them, only sajane. And they look to them. And the Maharaj says, oh sare sadena sant sajan pay sarase. Now why do I say sarase, not sarse? It's just a small difference. But sarse is a jagah in Punjab. Sarase means with all the ras. Because the word is rase. And ras means the flavor. Sarase means all the flavor, all the good flavor. So the word is actually rase. Sarase. If you say sarse, you said sar and se. But it's not sarse, it's sarase. Yeah? Sant sajan pay sarase pure gurte jani. Because the saints, they are full of all this ras, all this happiness. Where do they get this from? From the complete Guru, the Pura Guru. Because he has this power. And then Maharaj finished off, they go, Sunte puneet kahte pavit satgur rahya parpure. The ones that listen to this Bani, to Anand Sahib, Maharaj says they are going to become purified. Puneet becomes purified. Sunate puneet. Those that listen to Bani, understand it, they're actually listening to God's name. You know, we say that you become, by listening to God's name, you become purified. Bani is God's name. Naam hi Bani, te Bani hi Naam. Don't think something different. The thing that makes Amrit is Bani. They say, Sunte puneet kahte pavit. As you say Bani, you become purified. As you listen to it, you become purified. Satgur rahya parpure. And what will happen is that Guru Sahib will become, you become absorbed into Guru Sahib, but Guru Sahib become all around you. You'll see Guru Sahib everywhere. Parpur. Parpur means inside every single thing. Purya hoya. Purya means to be absorbed in everything. So the good Sikhs that get to this level, wherever they look, they go, Sab Gobind hai, Sab Gobind hai, Gobind bin nahi koi. Everything is Vaheguru all around them. And they say, Binvant Nanak Gur Charan Lage, Vaje Anhad Ture. Now, Binvant means Benti. Binvant Nanak, Pranavat Nanak, Benti Nanak does a Benti, Nanak does a request. What is that request? Gur Charan Lage. I do a request, I do a prayer. Kirpa karo, let me be attached to my Guru's charan. The whole of this Sangaji, the shortcut in Sikhi is Nimrata. The shortcut is Guru's charan. We're not trying to get there by ourselves, we're trying to get there with our Guru's kirpa. So Maharaj says, follow the Guru's charan. Here Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj is writing this part. They're talking about Guru Angad Dev Ji's charan. They're saying, you want something? Grab hold of Guru Angad Dev Ji's charan. Now we're so lucky, we've got 10 Guru's charan to grab hold of. And Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Now what is the Guru's charan now? Sangeet ji ne kai bari puchha, what is the Guru's charan now? Ithe likhya hai, grab the Guru's charan. But socho jara. In the time of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, when they made charan Amrit, they made it with Guru Nanak Dev Ji's charan. They couldn't use somebody else's charan. They had to find Guru Nanak Dev Ji's charan and wash the water, and that became charan Amrit. Gur ka darshan dekh dekh jiva, Gur ke charan toye toye piva. But now, how do they make Amrit? With Gurbani. So actually, the Guru's charan is Gurbani. So what we say here, ki Binvant Nanak Gur charan lage, we can also say Binvant Nanak Gurbani lage. Let me stay attached to Gurbani. That is being attached to Gur charan. So Maharaj says, Binvant Nanak Gur charan lage, Vaje Anhad Ture. Ture means bugles. And the Anhad Ture means those unstruck bugles that somebody else is playing. Vaheguru is making that music appear in their glorious greatness. Maharaj says, I can hear that music now. And Nanak is in bliss. Nanak is enjoying the Guru's Shabad, the Guru's Charan. So itthe samapti hai, come to the end.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe. Please donate and help spread Guruji's message. Link is in the description below. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.